Alright, round 2 started in a few seconds. So we beat Death in Texas in round 1. It's actually like only about 60%. I think some people like when things go well, like it feels you know, pretty one-sided. But like if you miss land drops or you like keep a landline hand, which can like be good against a lot of decks, you can definitely get punished. I realized I didn't really like talk about, so the couple things I'm trying today that are new, or well, I've tried Tabernacle before. I'm just trying it again. I wasn't really happy with Glacial Chasm last week. It didn't do anything. I don't think I played it once. And I'm trying the Plague. I do think it's alright. Also, like both of these things, because I'm a little bit worried about like the Elves matchup. Which is, I think, something you can like. Is that JD Mage? Is that what that's in? Like, I think it's a lot more winnable than like and or Reanimator. So like, I kind of wanted to put some energy into maybe or some like sideboard slots into maybe trying to. Let's hope so. Let's hope things also like we draw okay. So yeah, I think Elves is a lot more winnable. So like Tabernacle and E-Plague are both good there. Obviously, any Plague like can come in against like Death in Texas. Like, well, I keep that. Doesn't have turn 1 Excel, but it still has a turn 2 Enchantress. Turn 1 Mirri's Guile is good if they are on Miracles, especially with the fetch land to back it up. It could not be. I don't know. I think more of them are running preordained now. This is from a while ago, so it don't really tell us much. They are going more to preordained, but like preordained could also be like, well, it could be Storm, but like it could also be Sneak and Show. I guess we'll find out. Man, that is a tough call. Well, not really. We can go like turn 2 Argothian into Mirri's Guile. So we're gonna do that. We've got white. I mean, they could be. They could run back to basics. We'll get a basic with this. Still, I think I'd rather name blue. Doomwake isn't as good against Miracles. Like, it's okay, but like it dies to Terminus, and especially game 1 to Swords of Plowshares as well. So, you know, you would try to. You don't generally name black till the mid game anyway. It's rare that that's going to be your first one, unless maybe you're up against. Unless maybe you're up against. All right, elves. Well, speaking of which, there is. Well, they're not going to daze us, probably. So let's try to resolve that first. That's good. Don't have Force of Will. Don't have Force of Will. Alright, sweet. We are going to get a basic here. We could get Bayou, but then, like, okay, we can cast Doomwake, but then we get blown out by fucking, we get blown out by, back to basics. I don't want that. So, just go ahead and get Guile out. We draw a card. It doesn't get countered. And you can start Guiling. That's a good draw. Against Counterbalance is one of their best cards against us for sure. Like, so you need to like do a little bit of a like, you know, hop and step around the Counterbalance, duck and weave, like poke it with like a 1, then hit a 2, then a 1 again, like, so they can't get too much value out of it. We're definitely not gonna like. If you're in this situation, don't like get greedy and try to like Zenith for your second Enchantress. Like you generally, especially early game, don't want to have like multiple Argothians out because then they can get like real value off their Terminuses instead of making it like a 1-for-1. So I think Zenith. I mean, I kind of want all of these, but I'm gonna like definitely start off, like I was saying, by like trying to do some. I really wish we had another green source though. Now, if they have a brainstorm, they would definitely want to use it here. Because they can't really like counter our like 1 mana things. I mean, they can't really like invest resources into it, but like they can if it means that what am I saying, guys? Like if they can do it with counterbalance, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. All right. That being said, I think they want to Eidolon because like. Sure, it can get like wiped, but it's already drawn 2 cards at that point. Conversely, we could try to like Utopia Sprawl, but then if they do like find a like fetch and find a 1, oh yeah, you know what? That's fine. Let's do that. Then we like Living Wish. We could have explosives, I suppose. Which I guess we'd be really fucked, because Sanctum wouldn't make any mana next turn. Kind of want more green. Well, we've got 1, 2, 3 for next turn. That's like, okay. All right, we'll just get black. We could actually like Living Wish for Wasteland and waste this Tundra, which I know doesn't seem amazing. But and they didn't change anything, right? So it's still what's it? Monastery Mentor. Yeah, let's go for it. It's still too early to get Emrakul. I think I actually am kind of tempted to just like Wasteland them here. Because then they also like have a harder time playing like Council's Judgment or something next turn. Or even like on the other hand, we have like double Enchantresses. So actually, yeah, I mean we're good on threats. So I might just like Wasteland here to like throw them back a turn. And make them spend another card and get in land. I know that seems wacky. I don't know if it's right, to be honest with you. We should totally like have a Ramen Up Excavator as a wish target. So like this seems like an okay time to Doomwake, I think. We're gonna have a lot of extra white mana and little else to do with it. We can hit the Snapcaster. And like we're still walking into a Terminus to some degree, but like we drew a card off it. They like both their cards from oh sorry guys, I didn't realize this was so big. My bad. That kind of makes me just want to We could play like Doomwake, or sorry, we could play Eidolon off these 2 lands, leave 1 green floating. No, sorry, leave 1 black floating, and then Doomwake. I think that's pretty good. Or actually, then Invocation, copy an Eidolon, and like they can like fucking at that point they can Terminus. Who gives a shit? We'll have so many cards. That's pretty good, I think. Well, then maybe we just want to play the Sanctum first. No. It's already making 4 mana. I mean, that's fine. Yeah, that way we save our Doomwake for like if they try to commit to a Mentor. We should start playing quicker though. We do. Miracles can be a long matchup. I'm actually inclined. Well, we'll get a chance to look at some stuff before we decide what we want to copy. I'm inclined to maybe not copy the Eidolon after all. Like, we already probably have plenty of cards, so, like, saving it to get around. So we're not, like, walking so heavily into Terminus is probably better. I guess we only draw 1 card before we decide. Alright. Fuck it. Next turn I guess we can go off. If they don't have the ability to like Terminus at instant speed, we can just, which they do now, assuming they've got, they didn't shuffle, so yeah, it's not like walking through it. Still, we can go first and then decide, I suppose. Yeah, so that's pretty good. I think we can just go off here. Actually have another Enchantress. We'll just do that. We get a free card actually, so. Alright. Without exposing ourselves as much to Terminus. Yeah, so let's go ahead and Presence, I suppose. I'm actually gonna hold off a minute on the, they could easily be running back to basics, so I'm not gonna like put a lot of enchantments on the Savannah. I don't think I can actually finish them this turn. I just can like put it in a position where I've got Emrakul in hand, which means, you know, they can't really win at that point. Maybe we can actually. Depends how many wild growths we draw. They probably put a 2 on top. You'd imagine. We're going to definitely test it with Oblivion Ring. So we need to draw 1 first. When you're going off, you generally just name green with Utopia Sprawl. Like, the other colors are more for, like, when your plan gets, like, a little disrupted and you've got to get value out of, like, Invocation and Doomwake and stuff. But that's not the case here. We've just kind of got it. That's not what I meant. I am going to put the wild growth on the Sanctum. much we tapping for here? 14? That's not enough. Alright, well, that's alright. I guess we'll go 2-3-2 to try to play around counterbalance. Get this thing off the table and resolve a Living Wish. Yeah. Main deck we can avoid decking with just Zenith. Sure. We know they have a Mentor in hand, so they do have the ability to do that. Sure. We're actually okay with making this trade if they want to, because we do want to draw fewer cards at this point. Yeah, that's fine. Well, alright. So, we want to keep Ground Seal to shut off Snapcaster. We don't really need all these lands. The fetches especially, like, don't really get anything at this point. I guess they get Bayou. Maybe I should have kept one. We're not playing around back to basics except for, like, we need the other Sanctum. We don't need these enchantresses. We don't need grasses. We don't really need more enchantress effects. We don't need the white mana. Don't really need the blue mana for that matter. I guess we also don't need all three Zeniths. One should suffice. Or two, certainly, anyway. We probably should have looked first, actually. So I guess we have to do the 2-3-2 again. So we can just, well, actually we can start off with Ground Seal. Do they cast a third Brainstorm? They could be on like all mission briefing in which case this Ground Seal is pointless because they've like already used their 1-0 snap. But I suppose we'll find out, won't we? Sure. Oh wait, no, that's right. We saw the snap. That's right. They're probably gonna put a 2 on top, I would think, but like, maybe not. Maybe it's better to go 2-3-2. Okay. We have another outrain, right? Not like a crazy person. Alright. Not gonna lie, things are a little scary here, but we just need to like play tight. We're also down 10 minutes already, so it's not necessarily ideal. Alright. We've got... Okay. We could just cast these for an absurd number that could never get hit by counterbalance. But I don't think that's necessary. Enforceable. Okay. So then we're going to wait till next turn to cast these Living Wishes. We're going to Doomwake. I mean, that's still something they've got to deal with, so... Actually, wait, maybe this was a mistake. Because actually, if they do... No, wait, we still have our land drop left. Well, we play land, and we attack, I suppose. I don't think I've ever been this close to being without a kill condition against, like, a fair deck before. It has happened against, like, Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger. Can't see myself needing... Well... If they're not on Predict... Usually it's AK or Predict, right? We attack for 6. That doesn't really speed up our clock, because then they can't use the fetch anyway. So, I guess there's no reason. Any order, obviously. No. whatever, sure. Do they really have another fucking brainstorm? Alright. That's 3 of their brainstorms. But they also have to Terminus this turn. Or Supreme Verdict. Well, they can't Supreme Verdict. Okay, wow. That was a weird game, guys. I was a little scared there. Yeah, I don't know. So, like, obviously that Living Wish for Wasteland was pertinent because, like, they were in a situation where, like, there were spells they couldn't cast, and also because, like, we almost ran out of kill conditions, right? So, I don't know. So, against this, the grindy decks, Confinement's the first thing to come out. Take out at least 1 grass, especially if they're on the play. Or at least 1 on the grass if they're on the play. At least 2 if they're on the draw. 2 is probably still right. I'm probably still going to cut 2. I've done this thing where, like, against the grindy decks where I cut, they don't really mess with your mana, except for, like, maybe back to basics. So, like, I cut the second Sanctum, because it's, like, especially if you already have one, it's, like, usually, like, the worst draw, and it's, like, usually not a mana source early in the game. So, but also because this way, like, you can wish for it if you absolutely need to, like, if that's where you're, like, you're choking is on mana. We're going to bring in, this is the wrong pile, in the Eye of Chaos. It's not as good against them as maybe against Grixis Control, but, like, it's still, they bring in probably Disenchants, and, like, it stops Force of Will, makes Counterspell, and AK worse. So, you still definitely bring it in. You bring in Night of Autumn, like, because you saw Counterbalance is really key. I feel like there's another enchantment. Maybe back to basics sometimes. But, like, usually it's Counterbalance. You do need an answer to that. This turns Zenith into an answer to it as well. Zenith also can obviously get around Counterbalance very well because it's a variable cost. And you make it Night rather than Pridemage because if they have Counterbalance on 2, like, and you need to get rid of it, like Living Wish is, like, if they, like, flip a 3, then you can't, like, wish for Night of Autumn because it's just going to counter. See what I'm saying? You could bring in Gaddock Teeg, but I don't think it's right. Maybe if they're on, like, the slower build with, like, Teferi and Entreat the Angels and all that nonsense, then, like, Gaddock gets better, like, good enough. But I think he's, like, not quite good enough. They also sometimes do bring in a couple swords, or leave in a couple swords. I don't think it's really, like, right for them to do that, because, like, they're not, like, Death and Taxes where they're, like, totally dead to Doomwake. But they do it anyway, often. This is a questionable hand, but, like, against them, it's threat dense, it has a lot of cantripping. They are on, like, a Snapcaster heavy build, so Ground Seal is good. So I'm going to keep it. We might Living Wish for, like, a Wasteland simply to have the additional land if we don't hit a land drop in the next 2 cards. I don't think Karakas does anything against them unless they're on... Well, they probably brought in Click. But it's not, like, the best thing in the world to Karakas, obviously. I think this tells us they took out back to basics. Oh, we found a land. Fortunately, it's the land that doesn't work with choke. So that's a little awkward. We are going... We've got an abundant growth and wish for Karakas if we like are really pressed for white. So we're gonna name blue, especially because like with the choke, we might lose access to our trop. We could very easily lose access to our trop. If they like double port, and I'm like really tempted to just choke here. I mean, it's a little greedy because we're losing a land. But what I'm worried about is like if I just go like Enchantress Go, that might like actually. Oh, that's an easier call. I'm just going in the Eye of Chaos. But if you go Enchantress Go, they could just like untap and disenchant it. I'd rather like play the Enchantress when I have priority, so like I can at least cycle off of it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for the choke. We could lose a land, but like it's obviously a lot worse for them, especially with in the Eye of Chaos and choke. Pretty hard for them to beat both of those cards being in play, especially like with only the like one basic island they can go get right now. Maybe they have another in hand though, so I don't know. Could backfire, I suppose. This is pretty protected now. I have to discard, that's nice. Free card. Nice. Especially because we're gonna, well, anyway. We'll just name green because we got abundant growth. What if they're gonna ground seal here, stop their snapcasters completely? I know they could, like, so they could go, like, double planes, end a turn, disenchant the ground seal, and then just, like, surgical the wishes. It's very unlikely. Well, they'd have to counter it first, right? They can't force a will. They could counterspell and untap with 2 lands, but then they'd still have to get rid of the ground seal. They could judgment the ground seal, but then they still don't have the 1 extra mana they would need because in the Eye of Chaos for surgical. So I guess there's no reason not to. We'll go ahead and not get too greedy and just like Emrakul here. Because once we have her like with a board like this, we should be like, we should have inevitability. They can disenchant here. Which do they disenchant first? Probably the choke. Well, it has to be the choke. That's fine. Got a lot of cards. Sure. Something for Orin to go into. Well, that sure is a terminus. I'm okay with trading, or losing the Eidolon. Doesn't much matter at this point. Hmm. We already drew the second Sanctum. I was thinking about wishing for it. So, we trade. I mean, it's an interesting choice. You were going to Terminus anyway. Yeah, let's go ahead and live in Wish. What are we gonna get? Guys. We don't have any enchantments, so I suppose we're gonna get Courser. We could get Doomwake, which is also a better kill condition if for some reason we need that. But Courser's, like, if they somehow, like, I don't know, explosives for 3 or something, I mean, that'd be pretty good. Then we'll need some way to start setting back up. We don't really have that right now. We can just lose a forest. 2 forests, I suppose. Sure. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. No, we've just got Emerald Mana. That's just, okay, fuck it. End of the road. End of the road. I don't think they have a 15 mana thing on top. It wouldn't matter, would it? This can't be countered. Alright. We got it. Yeah, I mean, game 1 was actually like the closest, like I said, I've come to decking or running out of kill conditions against a fair deck. They did have a lot of brainstorms and an early counterbalance. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it was greedy to get that Wasteland, but maybe it paid off. It's hard to know without knowing what was in their hand. We'll see you in